Failure. The word itself makes most people uncomfortable. It brings feelings of shame, regret, frustration, and even self-doubt. Society teaches you that failure is something to avoid, something to be ashamed of. But here's the truth. Failure is inevitable. No matter how skilled, disciplined, or talented you are, you will fail. But here's the real question. What happens next? Most people crumble. They let failure ruin their rhythm, break their confidence, and make them doubt everything they've worked for. They start slacking off. They lose momentum. And worst of all, they quit. But the greats, the truly disciplined, they don't let failure shake them. They don't break. They absorb the hit, learn from it, and move forward even stronger. They have a system, a mindset that allows them to face any setback without losing an inch of progress. This is how you do it, step by step. Step 1. Redefine failure. It's feedback, not defeat. The first mistake people make is seeing failure as boom, the end, instead of a lesson. When you fail, your brain immediately jumps to negativity. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should quit. Maybe this was a waste of time. These thoughts are a trap. They trick you into thinking failure is a stop sign, when in reality, it's a guidepost. Failure is feedback. It's giving you data, showing you exactly where you went wrong and what needs improvement. Reframe failure. Instead of thinking, I failed, start thinking, what can I learn from this? Ask yourself, what specifically caused this failure? What was in my control and what wasn't? What adjustments can I make to avoid this next time? When you see failure as a lesson rather than a defeat, it loses its power over you. Step 2. Expect failure before it happens. One reason failure devastates people is that they never expected it. They assume everything will go perfectly, and when things fall apart, they're paralyzed. High performers prepare for failure before it even happens. Think about elite athletes. They don't train assuming they'll always win. They prepare for adversity. They visualize missing shots, losing games, and struggling, so that when it happens, they already know how to respond. You should do the same. Before starting any goal, ask yourself, what's the worst-case scenario? How will I respond when I fail? What system do I have in place to keep moving forward? By mentally preparing for failure, you take away its shock value. You remain calm, collected, and disciplined no matter what happens. Step 3. Kill the emotional reaction. Failure stings. It hurts your ego. It makes you feel like all your effort was wasted. And if you let those emotions control you, they'll destroy your discipline. Disciplined people have a simple rule. Never make decisions based on emotion. When you fail, do not complain, overthink. Dwell on the past. Make impulsive changes out of frustration. Instead, go logical. Detach yourself emotionally and analyze the situation like an outsider. Treat yourself like a scientist, analyzing an experiment. This approach didn't work. Let's adjust and try again. This method failed, but I see where I went wrong. This setback is temporary. I just need to refine my process. When you approach failure with logic instead of emotion, you maintain clarity, and most importantly, your discipline stays intact. Step 4. Control the controllables. Failure often makes people feel powerless, but the truth is, you're never powerless. No matter how bad a situation gets, you always have control over something. The disciplined are focus on what they can control, not what they can't. For example, if you fail a test, you can't change the past. But you can study harder for the next one. If your business idea flops, you can't undo it, but you can tweak your strategy and try again. If you get rejected, you can't force someone to say yes, but you can improve yourself and create better opportunities. Weak-minded people obsess over what's out of their hands. Disciplined people take action on what they can control. Every time you fail, ask yourself, what actions can I take right now to improve my situation? What habits can I keep executing no matter what? Your discipline should never rely on external success. Keep working, keep moving, and eventually, results will catch up. Step 5. Reduce recovery time to 0. Here's where most people go wrong. They take too long to recover from failure. A single mistake turns into a bad day. A bad day turns into a bad week. And before they realize it, they've lost all momentum. This is the ultimate discipline killer. The best in the world don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They recover fast. They fail, adjust, and take action immediately. Ask yourself, how fast can I bounce back? What's my next move? Can I keep my routine going even after a loss? No breaks, no hesitation, just forward movement. Step 6. Use failure as fuel. Failure either destroys people or makes them stronger. You decide which one it is. The disciplined use failure as fuel. They take every loss personally, not in a weak emotional way, but in one relentless, determined way. They tell themselves, I will never make this mistake again. This failure is proof I'm pushing my limits. Every loss gets me one step closer to mastery. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't talent. It's how they respond to setbacks. Turn failure into your greatest motivation. Step 7. Never break routine, no matter what. Here's the most important rule. Do not break your habits. When most people fail, they fall into a downward spiral. They stop working, stop training, stop following their routine. They tell themselves, I'll start again when I feel motivated. That moment never comes, and they never recover. Disciplined people keep the routine going no matter what. Even when things go wrong, even when motivation is dead, even when failure makes them doubt themselves, they show up, they do the work, because they understand. Discipline is the only thing that guarantees success. If you take nothing else from this, remember, you do not stop. Failure is coming for you. You can't avoid it. You can't outrun it. But you can control how you respond. The weak let failure break them. The disciplined use failure to become stronger. When you get knocked down, stand back up. When you lose, learn. When things fall apart, keep moving. Because the only way to truly fail is to quit. And you are not a quitter. Now get back to work.